All right, you're still watching Wake Up Nigeria, and on parenting, we're discussing raising money-wise kids with Femi Shufoluwe. Now, I think that is such an interesting topic because financial literacy is super important for everybody, right? And a lot of times, it's when we've already become adults that we now start to think about it. How do I save my money? What do I do? How do I invest? And, you know, it's interesting that we're saying raising money-wise kids because I guess it starts from there. But for you, at what age do you think we should start introducing our kids to concepts of money?
From the moment they can speak and they can understand, they need, because money is part of life and you can't shy away from that. So from the moment they can understand, they need to be taught the concept of money, the value of money, how to generate money, how to keep money, how to multiply money.
Beautiful. So generate money, keep money, multiply money.
Very important.
Very important. So for you, I know that you work with a lot of kids, you work with a lot of students, and you're doing the Student Success Summit, right? What are the common mistakes you've seen parents make? Because these are the parents that they have to introduce their kids to the concept of money, and it starts from the home. So what are some of the mistakes that you've seen parents make so far?
Well, 99%, if I'm not mistaken, of Nigerian parents, they themselves don't even understand money. We're just trying to get by. And what you don't know is difficult for you to pass on. So you are most likely not going to be the financial mentor that your children need, but you are their first teacher because everything begins at home. First, as parent, you need to remove the mystery around money for your children. Let them know that money actually is a response to creation of value. So as a parent, you know that if you don't create value, money is not going to come. So teach your children to know that money is tied to value. Money is currency. Currency means current, something that is moving. So as a parent, you need to let your children know that money is constantly moving from where problem is being created to where the problem are being solved.
Right. So, and you know, money can easily come into your hands and quickly move out.
Because it's currency. Exactly. That's what it's designed to do.
Yeah.
So if you have more problem with you, definitely money is going to be leaving you because you are going to be using the money to solve the problem. You have to let your children know that they need to minimize the amount of problem around them. They need to be a person of value. They should create more value than they generate problem. You see, the reality is we cannot live without having a few problems. Who wash our clothes, who cook our food, who drive us. These are problems that need to be solved with money. But your children, they need to be taught that creating value greater than the problem that is generated is the way to multiply money and do so fast.
Beautiful. So how do we start to teach them this? Because, you know, you've talked about creating value. And I'm sure a lot of people, I mean, I've seen videos where a lot of parents would say, you have to do this chore and then you make money. So money has to be earned. It's not just, I have to give you money. Even though there's still some parents who would give you allowances outrightly, but then if you want a little bit extra, maybe go and wash the car and I give you that. Do you think that that is also a great way of ensuring that they understand the concept of money and how money is earned?
That is actually very important. I was going to get there. I didn't know that time will permit us. The concept of earning and saving must be taught on time. Let them know that money is earned. You see, we are told how money is not made. We're never told how it is made. Growing up, we hear our parents say money don't grow on trees. We know that. But how do money grow? Because money do grow. We don't know this. So you can start introducing your children to work early because the reward for work is payment.
True.
Every laborer is worthy of his wage. When you have labored, you are worthy of a wage. Let them know that labor brings wages and teach them the concept of earning by introducing house chores that are age appropriate for them. If they
not
do
child labor here.
No, not child labor and not child abuse. Age appropriate. Introduce them. For example, I run a printing press. My children sometimes follow me to press. When they pick a little paper here, a little paper there, they got home, they have the money into their account. And they are always happy to watch their money grow. You understand? And when they earn, teach them what to do with their earning. They are not just earning for earning's sake. What do they do with it? Teach them the concept of saving and then avoid impulsive buying. They learn from you.
Yeah.
And no matter what you teach children, they learn mostly
I was
from you.
actually going to go to that because, you know, how important is parents, you know, being that symbol of...
When you are going for shopping, for example, go with a list. Let them see you write the list and follow that list to the letter. Whatever is not on that list, if you need to buy it, you have to be able to justify it for them so that when they need to engage in such, they know that there must be a story they need to create to justify that kind of impulsive buying.
So it's basically discipline. You're instilling that principle and you're using yourself as an example, and then they learn from you.
Definitely.
Okay, so since we're speaking about raising money-wise kids, let's talk about savings, because a lot of kids, they get something, I want to buy ice cream, I want to buy chocolate, So how do you still allow them to be kids, but then still ensure that you're already teaching them how to save?
All right. For example,
and investment too, because children can actually invest.
Yes, they can invest. For example, when my own children want to buy toys, they remove from their money. They have passed the stage where I buy them toys.
Wow.
You use your money to buy toys, so they are very, very selective. When they want, they don't just buy any toys. If they buy a toy, they actually wanted it. And anytime they spend that money, they see their balance, and they don't usually like it. So they always find a way to make sure they topple it up again. And having said that, I tell them when they want to buy books, the bill is on me. Any type of book, any amount. So sometimes they go shopping. I mean, when they go buy book, they buy book because they know they are spending this money. And I don't have any problem with that because that is exactly what I want them to do. But when it comes to toy, it is their money. So that teach them delayed gratification. If you tell children not to spend their money, you see, it is unjustifiable. You adult, you make money, you spend.
Why can't I spend my own?
They should be able to spend. But you know, you demarcate it for them. You don't spend all your earning. You save some. There is a principle of SSS. Save some, sow some, and spend some. So you sow, you save, you spend. The saving is the one you put. The sowing, that has to do with investment. Because every time you put something to the soil, you expect a return from it. So sowing is important. They must learn to detach themselves from their money if they want it to come back to them. And then money is meant for spending too, so that they don't grow weary of making money.
Yeah, and you know, when you're just talking about your kids buying books, I remember me as a kid, my father will always say, Rume, go and read your books. If it's books, I will buy it. If it's anything else, you can use your own money.
Yes, but that's the same principle I use for my children.
So I think it's important that, you know, you save, you sow, and you spend. But if you were to put a ratio, how much do you think kids should be saving out of the money that they make? How much should they be sowing, and how much should they be spending?
They are basically living off you. So they should sow a larger percentage of their earning. If they can spend, if they can save, say, 50%, that's a lot. Then teach your children the concept of giving. It's very, very important. If your children don't know how to give, I can tell you, they will become a narcissist later in life. They must learn how to part away to be a benefit to their environment. So 50%, I would say, is okay because they are not, you buy their clothes to feed them. So whatever they want to buy for toys or any other thing can come from the remaining 50%. So, and then when they are saving, make sure they are saving to invest.
Yes.
Because you can't just save and you are expecting 1.5% return at the end of the year.
Yeah. Not saving to spend again, so saving to invest.
Is for the children, it's not to be saving to invest. And they are not saving to meet a buying target.
I think something you said that really struck me was being able to give. And I think that's super important because you also started with saying money is a current. It's a currency, so it moves as a current. And it's important that you give because when you give, you also get back and it's moving. But I want to say thank you so much for coming. It's been an insightful conversation. And I hope that parents at home are already thinking of how they can start to raise money-wise kids. We'll go on a short break now. When we return, there's still so much more on Wake Up Nigeria.